In this short video, we're going to look at the web-based meeting application called Zoom. This is an application that you can use from your phone, your computer, your tablet, and it gives you an online web conference, web meeting space that you can utilize with your students. Everyone here at Oklahoma City University has an account with Zoom, and in this video, we're going to look at how you can do that. So let's talk about the different goals for today. One, we're going to get Zoom downloaded to your device. You do need to be connected to the internet. Zoom uses the cloud. It requires an internet connection. You will most likely want to be where you have good Wi-Fi service, and it can burn through data if you're not. So depending on what kind of plan you have on your mobile or tablet device, just be aware of that. You can log into Zoom with your Oklahoma City University credentialing. So this is like your username and password. And it's the same thing that you use when you log into BlueLink or email or into D2L. All of that works. There are a couple potential issues. We'll address those. We're going to talk about how to schedule and share a meeting with Zoom, some navigation with the host controls, and how to share your screen. We're going to talk about those things. There's going to be a blog post that's also associated with this video, and the tip sheet and more details on some of this will be listed there. First, what you need to do is download Zoom. So go to the App Store for your device, the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, or if you're on the internet and you want to download the Zoom application, just Google the Zoom application. It's called Zoom Cloud Meetings in the App Store, and then you just click install. It should be free. If you're downloading a Zoom application and it wants money, that's not the right Zoom application. And then on your mobile device, to log in, tap the Zoom icon. And then you want to log in with your Oklahoma City University username and password. And to do that, you want to look for the link that says click into SSO. SSO is a short acronym for single sign-on. And we use that in a lot of different ways. So when you sign on to BlueLink or your email or things like that, it is utilizing the SSO feature that we have here. And so when you first are doing this, it may ask you like what the web URL is. And for us, our web URL is okcu.zoom.us. So you may have to fill in the OKCU part. And if you do it right now and you download it on your device, you are going to be connected. So on your device, from your tablet, your phone, or whatever, if you want to do anything at all, then this is what it looks like when you first get logged in. And you can choose to start a new meeting right away. You can choose to join a meeting, which will require you to know the meeting's code or the meeting's number. You can schedule a meeting, or you can share your screen even from a mobile device. And you can do all of that by just tapping. Now, if you're going to share your screen, it's going to ask you what meeting you're participating in. So just be ready that you might be asked for a meeting ID or a meeting number or something like that. But that's all there is to it, and you can just tap these things to interact with them. If you're on your computer and you want to log into Zoom, go to okcu.zoom.us, click the sign in button, and then click the single sign-on, the SSO option, and put in your Oklahoma City University username password, just the basic Oklahoma City University credentialing that you have always used for all of the things that you do here. And that will get you into Zoom through your web browser. We recommend using Chrome or Firefox, but the other web browsers, Safari, Edge, should work as well. You may be prompted, when you first log in, you may be prompted to download and run Zoom if you haven't ever done that before. So just be prepared to know where your downloads folder is located and be able to open up and run a file from there. It only takes about a minute for all of that to happen, and you'll be good to go. There is a known bug that we've had here. One of the things that can sometimes creep up is you get a link that looks like this. It says something went wrong while you tried signing in with the SSO. This is a little gremlin that just creeps around a little bit, and there are a couple ways to work around this. One, try using a different browser. So if you started in Chrome and you did this, open up Firefox and try again. The other thing that you can do is you can request a forced logout from all instances. So you can email us at onlinehelp@okcu.edu and request that you be logged out from all your Zoom instances, and we can do that for you, and that could help. Or clear your browser cookies and your browser cache. Generally, that takes care of any issues that you would have accessing Zoom. And this has only been an issue that we have seen when utilizing Zoom from the internet. This has not been an issue that we've seen when using Zoom from a mobile or a tablet device by using the actual app on that device. To schedule and share a Zoom meeting, well, you saw a couple of slides ago. It's very simple to do on your phone. You just tap the share button. On the computer, on the web interface, you would just click to schedule a new meeting. And it's really easy to do. It's in blue, and it's kind of right there in the middle of the screen. And you literally click that, and now it becomes like scheduling a calendar invite through Microsoft Outlook or Gmail or something like that. We're going to just add a few details. So what details can you add? Well, you can put a name on the meeting. So for example, if I'm teaching English 2, then I can call it English 2 Section 1 or whatever you need to name your meeting. You can add a specific date and time for your meeting. So just for example, if your class meets every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you meet from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., then you can actually set that meeting to reoccur for those times. And you put that date and time in there, and you're off and running. The things that then when you scroll down and you're looking at some of these options that are available, you can join before the host, which means that if you share this link to students, they can actually be in the meeting without you. And so you could check that if that's okay. Sometimes that's okay. Sometimes you don't want them to all be together until you get there. It just depends on how you want to manage that. And I strongly encourage you to check the box that mute upon entry. When you do this, this will silence everybody's microphones when they come into the meeting. You'll get like a little ding dong on your phone telling you that somebody's joined, like a doorbell, but nobody else will be able to speak, or whatever background noise is going on. It won't be, you won't pick that up. You can then enable a waiting room, and when you enable a waiting room, this is exactly what it sounds like. Whoever's participating in this meeting waits in a room until they're admitted by you, the meeting host. And so that works really well if you're having office hours and you need to speak with like one student at a time. Then you can have a student come into the waiting room, and then you can send a student to the waiting room. So it works both ways. So that comes in really, really handy there. You can also enable a waiting room if you're having a discussion with several people and you don't want to have an interruption occur during a specific point of time. And so if somebody joins late or whatever, then you can bring them in when there's a time to do that. And then the last thing that you can do is record your meeting in the cloud. And so if you want to make the meeting available for later, then you can check that. When you record your Zoom meeting to the cloud, it takes a little bit of time to process through and get completely uploaded. So don't expect your meeting to be available for about 10 hours-ish, give or take. And all that also depends on the size of the meeting. So once your meeting does get into the cloud, there's an option, and you'll see right here, I've got it highlighted in blue, where you go to your recording management or your recordings, and then you can see which meetings are available, how many files it's going to be, and you can click on that file and download the video of your Zoom meeting. Once you've downloaded the video for that Zoom meeting, then you can share it any way that you would like to do that. So if you have a YouTube channel, then you can share your video on YouTube, and you can put it make it an unlisted video so that nobody can click into it on accident. If you have a Panopto account, you can move your Zoom video into Panopto and share it with a Panopto link, or you can take your video and upload it to OneDrive, and then you could share a OneDrive link, or you could upload your video to D2L, but sometimes videos in D2L don't always play very efficiently. They take a lot of time to download out of D2L. Cloud meetings go away after about 60 days, so just be prepared for that. So if you want to do something with your meeting, you have 60 days to get to it, and then it's automatically cleared out. And then I listed the two ideas for sharing with YouTube or OneDrive. D2L will work, but the problem with D2L is when your students come in to view your video, it takes a long time for that video to come through all of D2L and then play for the students. So it can really add a delay there. Now, when you share your meeting, there's a couple different ways to do this. You can share it with a file for Outlook, which is the ICS file, or you can share it with a Google Calendar, and you can download and share this with your students. The other thing that you could do is copy the invitation and send that and post that with your students. Now, one thing that Zoom is really good at is if you choose to copy the invitation or share the invite, the students will also have an alternative phone number that they can dial into to at least listen and speak during the Zoom meeting. So if you have a student who maybe doesn't have the best Wi-Fi, but they can listen to what's going on, and there's maybe not a lot of graphics that are going to be used for this particular meeting, then they can actually dial in on their phone and participate. This happened, for example, this happened with me a couple years ago when I did a Zoom meeting, and one of my students was way southeastern Oklahoma and was driving, so they just barely had a cell signal, but they were able to participate with the other 10 students in the class by listening and contributing to our discussion. So there's a phone number in there, and so it's important to at least share the whole invitation and not just the link to the specific meeting that the students can click on and participate through the internet. Once you're ready to go, you're in your meeting, you're ready to start your class meeting, you just hit the big blue Start This Meeting button. And when you do this, a couple things could happen here. So if you have never used Zoom before, your computer may prompt you, if it hasn't already, may prompt you to download a file and run it. Or if you've already done that, then your Zoom meeting should open automatically. And if it doesn't, it'll have like a little message. You can click here to download and run Zoom again. So Zoom really has done a very good job of trying to be as user-friendly as possible and try to eliminate as many barriers as possible to having these kinds of conversations. And then once you're in the meeting, everything you can do just about whatever you want. And I don't have a screenshot, but across the bottom of your meeting are all the host controls. And the two big ones that you want to be aware of is there's a record for host control, and it's a big red record button, and the other one is share your screen. So you can share your slide deck from PowerPoint, or you could share a whiteboard, or you could share your computer background. There's a lot of opportunities there for you to choose from. And so you can share for your students to see kind of what they need to see from your point, that you're trying to teach, or the learning activity or whatever. If you're working on something and you're never going to leave your PowerPoint, if you've opened your PowerPoint up before the meeting starts, then you can just use Zoom to just show your PowerPoint. If you want to see your students, if you want your students to see a workflow of something, you can show your computer desktop and they can see how you're interacting with whatever it is that you're trying to teach them. So that's what we're looking at for Zoom. And then when you're ready to end the meeting, there's an end meeting button at the bottom of the screen. And if you don't see any of these controls at all, if you're on your mobile device, tap the screen and the controls come up. If you're on your computer, then if you wiggle your mouse, the controls will come up. And so this is sort of like a basic overview of what Zoom does. It does other things as well, but I invite you to sort of explore those at your leisure. Now, one other thing that you can do with Zoom as well is you can go ahead and capture your screen to record something if you want to record it and have it and save it for later. And you can do that by just opening a Zoom meeting of just you, and then choose to share your screen or your PowerPoint. And then you can narrate or do whatever and save it to the cloud. Be sure and record it and save it to the cloud, and then you've got it for later. So that's a little bit about Zoom. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out and email us at onlinehelp@okcu.edu.